All right. Hello, everyone. We are going to do a role play. I'm here with Rocio, and we're going to do it on the very popular topic of comparative reality. So, Rocio is going to play the client. I'm going to be the coach. And so, Rocio, tell me how everything's been going for you on program this week. What's going well?
I I tried really hard. I'm just kind of bummed. It's not what I expected. Like I expected to lose more, and I think it's great and all, but I'm just kind of bummed.
What are you bummed about? Tell me more about that.
I I expected more. I don't know what I expected, but I expected like maybe I would lose a little bit more. Maybe I'd have a little more energy that I was looking for, and um, and so I'm happy, but um, but I'm just kind of I thought maybe like losing more than 4 pounds would be expected, especially because I just kind of saw people's stories on Facebook, but also um, I don't know why I had like 7 in my head.
How long have you been on program again? Remind me.
Well, it's been, let's see, now it's been just 2 weeks.
Okay, 2 weeks. And where did the 7 pounds come from? Where did that come into your mind?
Well, that rolled over from last week. Like I thought last week in the first week I'd lose 7 pounds, and it just, I think it just came, I think it just came down to that Facebook page. Like people are losing 10 pounds. How are they losing 10 pounds? And so, um,
Well, I love that question that you just asked.
okay.
Okay. How are they losing 10 pounds? I love
Mhm.
that question because that is having a growth mindset.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
Yeah.
the people in that page, first of all, I'm going to teach you a little something. This is such a very important topic. And I love this topic because I've gotten stuck in comparative reality many, many times. Okay. But I want to let you know if we stay in our lane and not focus on their lane, then we're focusing on your journey. But I do want to touch on it.
Yeah.
Person that lost 7 pounds last week, do you know how much weight they have to lose total or how overweight they are?
No, but I can convince myself that they kind of look like me.
I love
Like
it.
kind of.
I love it. We like to do that, don't we? So I'm going to just let you know that we don't know where people have been. We don't know what they're going through. We don't know how much weight they need to lose. We don't know their medical conditions. We don't know what we don't know. So if
Mhm.
I can just coach you on something, do I have permission right now to be your coach and not just your friend?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going
Yeah.
to say, let's stay in your lane, girlfriend.
Okay.
Let's focus on the wins. How many years have you been struggling with weight loss? I don't like to use the word struggle, but I'm going to right now where it's felt like a struggle, where it's like it's not happening fast enough and I want to get this weight off. How many years has this been going on for you?
Yeah. Well, it's been probably like 30 years.
Okay. So let me just tell you something real quick. Okay. That right there is
Yeah.
why you're frustrated. Okay. Because losing weight is feeling like a struggle. It's supposed to be a struggle. It's not supposed to be something that's just naturally happening, right? You're
Yeah.
programmed because for 30 years you've been speaking this language to yourself. All right? So are you ready to speak a new language, a healthier language, and having a healthier relationship with food and the scale?
I think so, but I don't know how to do it any differently.
Okay, let's do it. Can I teach
Okay.
you how?
Yes.
Okay, let's do it. So first of all, does the scale stress you out?
Yeah, the fact that I had to think about it. Yes.
Okay. And so when you get on and you don't see a number, all the work that you did last week, you felt a little defeated because you're like, what?
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So can I give you a challenge for the week?
Sure.
Can we put the scale away and not even look at it?
For just a week or like,
How about we talk about it again next week, but don't weigh in before we talk next week?
I think I can do that.
Okay, because if you think about it, we are putting so much importance on what the number on the scale is telling us, right?
Yeah.
That is judging and telling us I had a good week or a bad week, depending on what the number is, but it's just a number. what if we started focusing on the non-scale victories this week? Can we do that?
I can, but here's the thing is I've been weighing myself every day, especially the last 5 years when as I've been gaining.
Okay.
So what do you recommend for that, like that relationship with the scale?
So I think for sure that if we put it aside for a week, you get to prove to yourself and show yourself how your relationship with your journey
Okay.
is changing.
I'm so
Right
nervous.
now, this is a relationship with the scale.
Okay.
Why are we giving full permission to a device to determine our happiness and our joy? Why are we giving full permission to a device to determine my success in my health journey? Why are we giving full permission to the person on Facebook to have full permission to determine my happiness and joy as to whether or not I'm a success or not? Okay, so this is where we get to stay in your lane. We get to remove the obstacle. The
Okay.
obstacle right now is the scale. It's messing with you. Because my question to you at the
Hmm.
very beginning is like, what's going well this week?
Yeah.
And we went straight to what's not going well. Okay,
I didn't even notice that.
so if we focus on all of the other things, I make you the promise of you are going to get results if we stay in structure. When we allow emotion to come into the equation where we're just like, it's not happening fast enough. I'm going to tell you what, I have a client that lost a half a pound a week. A half a pound a week. And I was a newer coach and I'm like, I don't know what to do for her. I want to help her. I want to help her. She went on to end up losing a total of 50 pounds. Now,
Wow.
it took her a little bit longer than most. Does it even matter now? Here she is 8 years later. She's here 8 years later and she's kept her weight off. She lost that 50 pounds and it doesn't even matter. So if you are ready to partner together in this, I'm excited to help you overcome. What do you think it would feel like for you if you didn't have to give full permission to the scale to determine your joy or disappointment every single day? If you could break through that.
I think I would be free from it, from like what the scale is telling me my worth. Because losing half a pound a week, I think I would be bad. I don't know if I could get past that because of like it's investment, it's money. But if I think past that, I would feel free from even needing to think about that and worry about that. I'd feel empowered
Yep.
probably.
Yep.
So
I'm going to show you
uh,
a picture really quick.
okay.
Do you see that? Still
So
mad you only lost 1 pound. Look at that pound of fat.
that's gross.
Okay, it is. That's
I thought it was a duck at first, and then I saw cheese, and that's
so this is perspective.
yeah, that's a pound.
That's a pound. That is a pound. Put out your palm. Let me see your palm. Think about a big old blob of that. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you see perspective? Like we are basing it on like, yes, I've got 40 pounds to lose and 1/2 a pound or 1 pound is going to be such a slow road, but it took you 30 years to get it on. We can't expect it to be off like this.
Right.
Okay. So
Right.
I want to hear non-scale victories this week.
Okay.
So right now, like you might want to get a journal. Let's talk a little bit about your life book. Have you had any time to put focus into that yet?
No, I wrote my name in it. I wrote my name in it because you said so, and you said that was enough, so I did it. But like, I
But now
just
it's time for more. We're
okay.
time for a new challenge this week. Okay. Can
Okay.
you give me 5 minutes a day?
I think so.
Okay, because now your focus is no longer on Facebook and looking. We want to look at Facebook as a encouraging place where you get to lean in and learn from. Okay.
Mhm.
When we get to a place of comparative reality, let's ask yourself the question, how can I stay in my own lane? Or am I in my own lane or am I in their lane? Okay.
Right.
So just
Right.
ask yourself the question right now. And then we get to say, I'm going to put my thoughts into something that's productive and not destructive.
Right.
Okay. I'm
Right.
going to put so whenever I have those moments, because I get them too, but the better we get to getting out of the reactive state and into the empowerment state, the more and more effective this is. So I'm going to send you element 4 that I want you to watch this week. Okay, just a quick half hour. I know how busy you are. So what I would recommend is maybe you can just push play, like while you're driving, you can get that. I got you set up on the podcast, right?
Yeah.
So you can just listen to element 4 this week. And I want to hear your takeaways when we connect. And then 5 minutes, if you could do 1 page a day in the life book, let's just skip straight over to element 4. Okay, because what that's going to do, that's the element that has changed my life. Seriously, I have lived in the victim triangle for the majority of my life, the drama triangle. And now what element 4 is going to do, it's going to start teaching you how we get into the empowerment triangle, getting up above the line. And this concept can set you free. So are you ready to see what it's going to look like on the other side of this?
Yes. Okay. I can't even imagine, but I see, like, I'm excited because you're excited.
Okay. Well, I'm excited because I've been there.
Yeah.
I've been exactly where you were. And I've gotten on the other side of this. So that's where my excitement comes from. This is where my passion to help other people get there has come from. And you're not doing it alone. Like, this is what it's about. This is a personal growth and development journey.
Yeah.
Okay. The weight loss component is the little cherry on top, quite honestly. Who you're going to become in this process, Rocio, as you are taking these steps together with me, who you're going to become in this process is what we get super on fire and excited to meet on the other side of this. So, okay. So this week, just a quick recap. I'm going to have you watch the video. Okay. I want to hear your takeaways. So maybe jot down some notes that have stuck around with you. And then maybe you can dive in to do 1 page a day in element 4 in the life book. And then we'll talk again next week this time.
Okay. I think that sounds good. I'll do that.
Awesome. Text me during the week if you have any questions. Okay. Like, I'm more than happy to just help you through whatever you're going through, but just text me. Otherwise we'll chat next week.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay. Have a bye. Okay. Now, as a coach, what did you take away from that role play? Anything in particular that stuck out to you?
I mean, yes, absolutely. I was like, wait, let me pause and I'll rewatch this for some of the stuff you said. But I think it's that reactive. I've got so many of my clients who they're so emotional about it and they're reactive about it. But I think it is a matter too of once you put in I don't know what it is. You said something about Facebook, and basically make sure you're healthy enough to, like, before you hop on the page. And that just reminded me, like, how many of my clients, I'm thinking of one in particular, she spends so much time loving and encouraging people, which is so wonderful. She probably spent 20 minutes on there, but can't do her life book. So it's like, I love the encouragement that you are putting into our community, but guess what? That life book, like, wants to feed you back.
Yes.
And, like, flow, just what you put in, you're going to be able to put out even more. So that really struck to me because I don't know, in the year and a half of coaching, I never really thought about that. So and finding that, and would it make a difference if I had, like, I was going to say my answer was 5 years, because personally, like, I've had the last maybe 7-year ish struggle. I'm not struggling no more, but would it had made a difference if I said 7 years? Like, I've only struggled with this 7 years? No, right? Because it's the same mindset.
Habit cycle. That's all it is this all boils down to just being a habit cycle. And when people give full permission to the scale to determine, like, when you say that out loud to somebody, they're just like, that's ridiculous. It's completely ridiculous that I'm so focused on that number to tell me if I'm having a good day or not.
Right.
I've even gone through seasons where I break up with my scale. And I'm going to use this little analogy that one of my coaches taught me a long time ago when I first got started coaching. She was like, let's say you have a breakup with, like, an old boyfriend or girlfriend, can you just go right back to being, if you have an unhealthy, toxic relationship with them, can you be friends right away? No. You need time. You need space.
Right.
We can't expect that this is a toxic person in my life and they're welcome to be in my life. You have to take and create the space for yourself. And when you are healthier, right, with the healing process, then you have the option of saying, well, can I allow them into my life with boundaries? It's
Right.
the same thing with the scale. It's the same thing with brownies. It's the same thing with alcohol. It's the
Mhm.
same thing with whatever it is that's creating that toxicity in our mind, that
Right.
we have to understand that it's just, I'm not healthy enough for this yet.
Right.
Same thing with
Yeah.
me and cookies. I'm not healthy enough still 8 years later to have one cookie. And I've had to learn that. I've had to learn that the hard way until I realize, I see a cookie and I tell myself I can have one cookie, but then I look at it and I'm like, the old habit cycle comes in. I'm like, oh, well, there's just one more. Oh, well, then I'll just start again on Monday. Oh, well, then it's
Mhm.
crazy. So for me,
Right.
and cookies, not worth it,
Yeah.
because I know it's like a 2-week cycle. So know your boundaries, and
Right.
teach your clients that thing is just that you got to know your boundaries. It's not healthy. So why are we allowing the toxicity? You can measure your success in different ways, in the way your jeans are fitting. You've got
Yeah.
that starting number on the scale. That's all you need. And so
Right.
as a coach, I really and rarely talk about, so how much weight did you lose this week?
Right.
I rarely ask that question. And when I do a health assessment, I will just say,
Mhm.
you might just want to get a starting weight for us. And
Right.
if that's going to stress you out to look at it, have someone else write it down, put it in an envelope, and we'll revisit that later. That is not important. And when I do my check-in calls, it's more about, what are we celebrating this week? Not
Right.
how much did you lose this week?
Right. I
Okay,
love
so as
that.
a
Yep.
coach, we want to encourage them to look at the non-scale victories instead of the scale victories. So
Totally.
anyway, okay, cool. Well, I hope this training was helpful.
Thank you.
You. Okay. Have a great day, everyone.
Bye.